feeling of helplessness, and in other symptoms are like forgetfulness. When the confidence is not there, automatically there is chance of memory, or you can say problem of memory means forgetfulness. These are all the symptoms of anxiety in its psychological perspective. Okay. Same way, we have some in the anxiety condition, anxious condition, there may be some type of physiological, or you can say some of features like some sort of choking sensation, like insomnia, and pain or headache, then shortness of breathing. In some cases, loss of appetite, and some impotence, like sexual issues are there. Then we have anxiety. So some symptoms of psychological and so this is the patient conditions or you can say symptoms as well as the easily observed condition of anxiety. Then what will be the other reasons of this? If the adjustment is not up to the mark, it's the personal adjustment or family adjustment. If they are not in a position to reach their goals, in order to reach their goals, they feel, the person, the patient, they feel some sort of anxiety. So this anxiety in some cases, some type of anxiety is needed, that is positive side of the anxiety. For example, if the children are having some examination, without anxiety, it's not so easy to prepare for the examination. That means some quality of anxiety is needed in some cases, in some situations. Behavioral issues are not physical issues like specific phobia, we can say, social phobia, hydrophobia, and some phobia for not any reason. Those
Sir, voice is breaking, sir.
OCD, can say, obsessive compulsive disorder, also related to anxiety related disorders. Is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, also one of the major disorders related to anxiety. Then PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder is also one disorder related to the anxiety. Then anxiety, in some cases, anxiety is due to some separation. For example, when you admit the small child, age of 4 years or 5 years, that if they are not in a position to attend the classes, they don't want to go to the school. Means that is separation anxiety. That means they are separating from their mothers. Up to 3 years or 4 years, they'll attach it to the mother and the family environment. Once they go to they stop go to school. Once they admitted in any primary class like third class or UKG, LKG, any primary classes, they'll feel some sort of separation, some sort of anxiety because of their separation from the family, separation from their mother. That is called separation anxiety disorder, especially in the initial stage of the classes. So these are all various disorders, anxiety-related disorders. But the one way or other way, they'll feel some sort of anxiety. That is the reason. If this anxiety is up to some extent, it's okay. If it is beyond the control, it needs some sort of it is some sort of disorders. Okay. Then how to give the counseling for this anxiety? It may be anxiety or another important one is the depression. Depression is one of the major things. So depression, as we know, there are some methods of assessing this anxiety as well as the depression. For anxiety, we have some states, or we can say tools. No need of using the tools for every cases. By observing the psychological symptoms as well as the physiological and symptoms, we can observe whether the person is feeling with some anxiety. Whether the anxiety is mild, moderate, or severe, if you want to go to that level, so there is some other things we can use it. Then depression also is one important symptom of this. One important symptom of this. So they don't want to mingle with others. Loneliness is one important symptom of depression. So when they are in depressive state, commonly the person may not be in a position to share their emotions. Means they feel they're on their own. They don't want to share their emotions. Due to not sharing of their emotions, you can observe maybe some system of their, some symptoms of their depression. I can say depressive conditions. So the major depressive disorder is common on the age group that high risk of depression is around middle age, I can say earlier stage. So in this particular age of 14 or 15 to 30 or 35 age, the depression risk factor is more. If you observe the more age, if you observe the age of these depressive cases, the more number of depression cases you can see this age of 14. Okay. Then, as I mentioned, there are some symptoms of even depression also. So, by observing the patient or by observing the individual client, we can have some knowledge of their depression, or we can say depression. So again, here also, in some cases, the symptoms may be severe. Like, as I mentioned, some symptoms of this anxiety. In depression also, there are some other symptoms of problematic issues, like some sort of medical condition. So they won't take proper food, they won't focus on any activity, their concentration is very less, they won't be able to focus on any activity. Okay, and their interpersonal skills also automatically deteriorated because of their emotional disturbances, because of their mental status. The person that was driving this type of condition, they won't mingle with other persons, they go in the family. Okay. Then it may be like it may be anxiety, it may be depression condition. Depression again, same thing. There are different type of levels here. One is mild, moderate, and severe. Mild depression conditions, moderate, and severe. Okay. So for this both the anxiety as well as the depression, there are some tools you can use to observe the conditions that is mild, moderate, and severe. Like for anxiety, Hamilton scale of anxiety. Hamilton tool of anxiety. Let's say Hamilton. For depression also, Hamilton tool of depression. I can say Hamilton. So generally, by observing the symptoms, there are some symptoms of physiological as well as the psychological. So if you want to go for the deeper level, like India as live mode, you can go to this tools. You can use this tools. You can find the systematic procedure of the counseling. So here, first of all, we need to establish the rapport with the patient and screen out the symptoms. As I mentioned, by observing the symptoms, we can have some idea. We have some idea about their condition. Then, if there is any isolation, like some patients, they will be in isolation. They don't want to mingle with other members in the group and their family. Okay, so in that situation, careful observation of the patient is needed. Like if they are not take them these emotions. Okay, because why this is so essential is in some cases of depression, if it is continuous for some months together, generally this depression, the episode of depression lasts from 30 for 20 weeks. It is more than that. Months together, if depression or depressive condition is continuing, so better to check the patient. And if the condition is severe, if we find the condition is severe, so better to take all the precaution measures. Why? Because this condition is severe in some cases. So yes, some sort of suicidal ideations or suicidal thoughts may be observed in this patient. So that is the reason. If this depression is continuously is observed in this patient months together, so better to take the patient really psychological professional to see the actual status at the level of the patient. Then what are the main therapies we use in this patient in this condition? Like one is the behavior therapy. Behavior therapy means any issues related to their behavior. So better to do the behavioral therapy. Means what are the behavior? Better to modify their behavior. Okay, that is behavior therapy. In some cases, if the thought process also deteriorated, means they are in the native thought process. So better to give the cognitive behavior therapy also. That means CBT. One is behavior therapy. Only if you want to modify their behavior, better to give behavior therapy. If this behavior problem is due to some other negative thoughts, means the thoughts also have to change. That means CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, better to give to the patients or the persons. Then some interpersonal psychotherapy, because some cases of this depression or anxiety, not sharing their emotional or emotional imbalance also leads to this condition of depression. So that is the reason. So better to give interpersonal psychotherapy to these patients. Interpersonal psychotherapy is so improving the interpersonal skills. Interpersonal psychotherapy. It is an intervention of this particular person or giving some sort of benefit of procedures to improve their interpersonal skills, but not maintaining that sort of skills in sharing their emotion leads this depressive condition. That is the reason better to improve their interpersonal skills in order to avoid a depressive condition. Okay. Then in some cases, as I mentioned, some sort of problem like if they are in the problem of grief, okay, if they are not in a position to share their emotional issues. So in this condition also, better to give this interpersonal psychotherapy. Uh, then some sort of pharmacotherapy means with the help of the medical professionals. Okay, so better to do some medicines. The psychiatric, we suggest to the psychiatric professionals, they'll give some type of medicines, or you can say antidepressive medicines. Okay, these medicines also will help the patients in order to reduce their depression. In some cases, depression is right from in the children also. If we observe depression in the children, so better to find out the reasons of this depression. Any issues related to the family environment, any issues related to the parental rearing methods, child raising methods. Okay, it is, as I mentioned, in some cases, initial stage when they are separated from their mothers, some sort of anxiety and some type of depression in the later stages. So if it is such the cases, so better to give proper this counseling practices. In some cases, depression in adolescence also you can observe. Depression in adolescence, the reason of this adolescence may be their issue. As we know, there are some issues observed in the adolescent children. Okay, or you can say teenage children. Due to their rapid physical growth, due to their psychological reasons, due to their social or you can say emotional conditions, so these adolescent people will face some sort of problems. So they think that whatever their changes in their bodily or maybe in the psychological, emotional, social, they think that it is the lifelong issue. But it's only for the time being. They don't know. So in this situation also, some type of depression you observe in the adolescent children or adolescent people. This is one type of depression in the adolescent. Then depression adults are so adults means approximately if you observe adults, so maybe the reason maybe is occupational stress, there's the family issues, issues related to their marital issues. So these are the some reasons of depression in adulthood stage. Then not only in the adulthood stage, in the older adult stage also, in some type of old age people also, you will observe this type of depression. If you find out the reasons in the old stage,
maybe some sort of reasons related to their health condition, their family issues, maybe their financial issues. So these are the some factors related to the depression in old age people. So if you address this, so you can easily find out the root cause of the depression in age like childhood stage, adult stage, adulthood, or in the old stage. So if we address these issues, we root cause. If you resolve the issues related to the age related issues, with the financial related issues, other family or other life. So we'll have some sort of solution to the depression in any stage. Then in some cases, even after reducing of the depression, relapse is possible. Means repeating the same situation, repeating the condition. That is known as the relapse prevention. Relapse prevention means once the depression is reduced, if we address the depression, this depression is reduced automatically again it is repeated. So better to address these issues also with any way like the relapse prevention. Then we have to address the risk factors of any age, maybe adolescent, childhood, or old age stages. So better to identify the factors, then address the issues, each and every issues of a particular age. Then there is some problems when we are addressing these type of issues of making and the here there are some difficulties in self-acceptance because even though we try to understand things, they won't cooperate because that depression condition does won't be a person to cooperate with the self-acceptance because of the condition. That is the major challenging factor of this therapeutic procedure. Okay. Because they don't have proper insight. The depression. The first challenge is improving the insight, then acceptance. So they are this condition of anxiety or depression, but they don't want to reveal it. They want to accept it. So here, as a psychologist, better to improve the, what you can say, better to improve the insight. Then they are not able to accept it. They want to be in the same situation of their situation. Better to explain the consequences. The so if we explain this type of consequences of the present situation, in some cases, they cooperate with the therapist. Then here, then we are doing this type of we need to follow some methods, some skills in psychological issues. Okay, using proper tools. Means the tool may not be discovered the side, just asking giving some part of questionnaire. It may be questionnaire type, it may be interview type, it may be other type of getting the information. Okay. So it is one type of assessment. The assessment is through various resources. Okay. Whenever we assess the patient or the client, better to show our empathy because understand the clients, understand caregivers from their perspective. If you do this type of, they'll feel, they'll be in a position to share their emotions to the therapist. So better to use this type of skills when we are giving counseling to this cases. Then it can be any problem of making unconcept. Better to change the negative process to the positive. And directly, if you observe any sort of behavioral issues, better to change the behavior. That means modifying the behaviors. Okay. So these are the various issues of. Hello, am I clear? Are you able to understand? Hello.
Yes, sir, but there is slight noise disturbance is there, but it is we are able to understand, sir.
Yeah. Yes, in this behavior modification, as I mentioned, there are some techniques we need to follow. What is the problematic behavior we need to observe? If this problematic, for example, if they are not mingling with other members in the family or in the group, they are isolated themselves. If you observe this type of behavior, okay, modify their behavior, the time, place, and person. The proper time, proper place, and proper person. So, in the particular, these three important things we need to consider. So, if this depression person or depressive person is having some sort of isolation only particular time or particular situation. For example, in some cases, the child, in ordinary cases, they will mingle with other members in the family. In the social gatherings, you don't want to mingle with other members in the family. If it is such the case, that means in a particular situation, so that situation we need a particular time, particular person. Okay. So if you observe these things, if these behavioral issue, better to modify the behavior of the person. Then if you have the particular knowledge of this particular person, you can easily modify that behavior. If you have any observations of their thought process because of their thought process, this type of behavior. So better to restructuring the population of the thought process. So depending on the patient condition, depending on the severity of the case, we use various techniques or therapeutical procedures in order to reduce their depression. Yeah. Then in some cases, for example, if the problem within the family, there's any conflict within the family, so that will be the reason of their depression. So better to resolve the conflict. Maybe family issues, maybe some cases, occupational stress, occupational workplace also, maybe some conflicts. The hierarchies, maybe some place, or you can say the work conditions of the place, the timings of the occupation. For example, if you see that the IT professionals, if they have don't have proper time of their workplace, of their job, it leads years to hours together. They want to spend there. It leads some sort of conditions, some sort of negative impact individuals. Such cases, if we observe, better to give proper counseling procedures in order to reduce the if it is a problem of their family, because of their family conflicts in the family, if they face this maybe reduced. So these are very important. Then another one is the stress. Even the stress also one important problem of some cases. Stress is some type of negative emotional experience, which is same way is in this stress also there are some symptoms of behavioral symptoms, psychological symptoms, and some symptoms related to the biochemical, or you can say biological symptoms. Same way as I mentioned in the anxiety, the stress also one part of the stress is positive stress, second is the negative stress. So here any non-specific reasons of the body, since stress, some sort of behavior, some type of physiological, and some biochemical changes or symptoms will observe in the stressful condition of any individual. Like psychological means feeling of upset, irritability, or you can say problem of concentration, then loss of self-confidence, then difficulty making decisions. Okay, so absent mind, you can say. These are all some symptoms of psychological related to the stress.
So one question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, regarding the stress, sir. Sir, the stress, if it is related to biological stress, then will it be cured with therapy, sir?
Yes, exactly. In some cases, as I mentioned, depression, even the stress. If the person is facing this type of stressful conditions, it's not so easy only with the counseling. Better to have the help of better to get the help of the medical professionals also. Okay, like some sort of psychotic medicine will help to address the issue related to the biological. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. So only psychological means what is the psychological details like inability to concentration, loss of self-confidence, and feeling of upset. These are the related to psychological symptoms. These symptoms, if we observe these type of symptoms, only psychological symptoms in the patients, through our counseling, we can easily address these, including the confidence, including the concentration, reducing the irritability, these type of issues through the psychological counseling. Whereas if the person is having some other symptom related to biological, so better to depend on the medical professional other places. Then behavior, third one is the behavior test. One is the psychological symptoms, then biological symptoms. Third is the behavioral symptoms. The behavioral symptoms are found in the patients, like due to their stressful condition, they will some sort of they will use some substances like alcohol and cigarette smoking. Okay, so, these symptoms, these are the behavioral symptoms. They go for the problematic behavior. So if these behavioral issues are found, better to be the behavior modification. So these are the three important symptoms we observe in this stressful condition of then here another important issue of this stressful condition. For example, if they are in the workplace, then professional stress, you can switch to professional stress. If the stress is related to their occupation, okay, So they not be forced to focus on main concepts. So the productivity will be is badly affected. The productivity of the person is decreased. So here, automatically the load of a person in organization. So this all the things we need to observe when we are addressing various issues related to the stressful conditions. So here, first of all, let's see some sort of emotional experiences associated with the behavior, biological, psychological symptoms of the person. So if we observe any of these symptoms, a combination of these depending on the person, depending on various symptoms of the person, we need to go for the psychological counseling as well as some type of help from the medical professionals or psychiatric professionals. Okay. Then here also, if there is any problem related to the occupational stress, so we have explained if these stressful conditions months together or years together, so there is the productivity, there is career development, adversity that adversity and then career development. Then there is role of the organization, the person's role in the organization, adversity affected. The relationship with other members of the family, I can say workplace, that also adversity. So here, these are all the important issues address. We need to focus on when we are living the. So anxiety, depression, now what is burnout? Burnout means so if it is continuous, is related to the effectiveness, if there is a change of all these or the depression. If this continuous happen months together, any of these so without fitness of the person, automatic impairment of effectiveness. So the effectiveness of the person and because of the these stressful conditions, anxiety or depression is continuous for months together. What has happened? The person is not able to focus on his own activities. Because about these conditions, the fitness of the person badly. So if it is called burnout. Yeah. So what are the reasons of the burnout? So one is the constant pressure of this constant stressful. So for months together, it leads to some sort of ineffectiveness in the person. Yeah. So here, there are some other causes of the burnout. Demand too many demands in the same time. Then frustrating condition. But if I say continuous stressful the long period, like yes, constant pressure to do more than the time. Okay, then too much time spending on a particular or work or the activity, and this stressful condition. Burnout. Second, the constant pressure for months together, for long together. Then too many demands. Then some lack of positive feedback, no recognition from the workplace, also it's some type of need to get others in the family, or you can say the education. So if you but feedback is very let's say lack of positivity, lack of rewards. Okay. As we know, we have psychological needs, need of identity, need of determination. We can know they are doing their work properly, but this type of feedback, this type of they face burnout. And in some cases, work environment, I can say, job environment is not person that also leads to some sort of stressful condition. Ultimately, one of the leaders of the burnout. Then, who is the person? Some of issues related to the who is the person. Also, one important one. So here, as a psychologist, stages or degrees of the burnout. For example, if there is any environment, if there is any stuff, and these demands are fulfilled, and the work is identified as negative. Workplace. So those things are then what are the various what is stressful conditions are some of the factors that change. Open topic.
Sir, can't hear anything, sir. It's not audible at all.
Is it okay now? Not audible?
Yeah, now it is okay. I think there is like disturbance earlier. That was like disturbance. Sir.
Yeah. So
can you come closer, sir? Closer to the mic.
Now is it okay? Let's go. Yeah. So then we need to do some kind of support system. Colleagues and group of
Still not audible, sir.
Is it okay now? Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello, sir.
Is it okay now? Hello.
Sir, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sir, now it is little bit clear, sir.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sir, now it's okay.
Sir,
Is it
voice
okay?
okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So in this burnout, or you can say depression conditions, first of all, as I mentioned, there are some reasons we need to find out. If the reasons are cleared, if the factors are found out, then better to address the issues depending on the situation of the client. Then there are some coping strategies in order to reduce their stressful, or you can say burnout conditions. So one important thing is that yoga, or you can say meditation. Okay. So one is one, or you can say some techniques related to the address their issues. Second is the effects of their issues and reasons of their issues, symptoms of the person, I can say biological symptoms, physiological symptoms, and psychological symptoms. Okay, these things, if any biological symptoms, better to take the help of the medical professionals. And psychological symptoms, directly will test the psychological issues related to the person. Okay, then as I mentioned, give some coping strategies. Means some sort of support systems we need to improve, and sharing of their emotions within the family members or the colleagues in the work. Okay, and ask them to. And and
welcome, hearty welcome. వచ్చేలేరని చెబుతున్నారు, మీరు చెబుతున్నారు ఇప్పుడు మీ గురించే నూరేళ్ళు మీరు అట అంటున్నారు. మీ మాట ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్ షోగేం పెట్టలా సంగతి.
hello. Yes.
some support systems we need to improve in the family or maybe in the workplace, the help of the family members, or if it is a workplace, the help of the colleagues, okay, in order to reduce their stressful and burnout also. Then some sort of time management programs we need to give to the patients, how to maintain their time, or you can say practicing the time management, okay, organizing the time in a proper way, in a productive way. Those things you can explain to the patients. Then having some plans of their future, okay, in order to reduce their stressful conditions, or you can say burnout. Then better to give some leisure activities, better to suggest to the client some sort of leisure activities to reduce their condition, to reduce their stressful conditions, okay. Ask them to have some sort of habits, okay, and periodically better to suggest to go some trips, okay, or you can say outings. These are all some
Sir, excuse me, sir.
suggestions. Will, yeah, yeah, yes.
Page number, sir,
Hello.
please. Sir, page
Yes.
number.
Page number around 320, 20, 324, 25, like, yeah. Then some sort of leisure activities will suggest. Then a time plan. Then some sort of recreational activities. Okay, if they are having very tight schedules in their workplace, ask them to spend some time with others of the other friends like family members and like vacations, okay, or you can say evening timings. They can spend some time on their own with their friends or any other group members, okay. Then if there's any problem with their eating habits and sleeping habits, better to give the proper eating habits, or you can sleep pattern also, regulate the sleep pattern also. These are all the various suggestions as a psychologist in order to reduce their stressful conditions. So then, for example, in some sort of that is conditions like present conditions in the workplace and maybe family, and that also will suggest. So then ask them to fix a proper goals. Whatever the goals they wanted to fix, ask them to fix the goal to reachable goals, I can say. Okay, if there is a gap between their setting of goal and their goal achievement, that also leads some type of stressful conditions. So ask the client to follow some short-term goals and some sort of long-term goals. If they fix short-term goals, whether they are achieving these short-term goals within their prescribed time or not. So whatever the goals they'll fix, ask them to think practically whether their goals are achievable within the time or not. For examples, if they want to go for the long-term goals, ask them to divide that long-term goals with some time intervals. Okay. So, for example, especially in the student-related stressful conditions, student-related cases, some students, they will fix the long-term goals. For example, like for 3 months, they wanted to complete that particular subject, but only they'll wait for the last weeks or last month, but they don't want to fix the short time. For example, they want to complete the subject within some 40 days. Each and every day, they need to work hard. That means in order to achieve the long-term goals, they need to fix some short-term goals. When they are achieving the short-term goals, means automatically they will achieve the long-term goals also. as a adolescent people, as a educational related stressful condition. This is one of the important reasons of their stress is they'll fix the goals, but they don't want to work on the particular goals. That means if they fix the long-term goals, they need to work on short-term goals also. As I mentioned, if it is a 3 months or 4 months goal to complete a particular subject of chemistry or physics, whatever the other subject may be, for example, 10 units in 40 days time. Okay, 10 minutes, 40 days means every unit they're supposed to complete within the 4 days time. This is short-term goals. If they complete that unit within the first unit within the 4 days time means their short-term goals are achieved. Then second unit from 5th day to 8th day. Then third unit is from 9th day to 12th day. That means if they are achieving these short-term goals, automatically they will achieve their long-term goals. So this is the way we need to explain in order to reduce their stressful condition, time management, and fix their goals in a proper way. So these are all the various techniques we explain to the patient, not only within this particular educational institution, where otherwise in the workplace also, some work conditions may not be suitable to their workplace. So if they want to achieve their goals within the particular time, better to explain the fix the time in a systematic way, in a proper way, so that they will be in a position to change their goals. Another one is that one of this main important thing is that there is a chances of stress related to their workplace. Okay, if you find any stressful condition within the workplace, the reasons of the condition, but reasons of the stressful condition that we need to observe. Then finally, if there is any stressful conditions, workplace, or maybe it may be any other related environment, so better to go for some relaxation techniques. Relaxation methods, you can say meditation, you can say the meditation, one of the important technique of meditation you can suggest, and some type of relaxation techniques like breathing exercises. So there is any stressful conditions, if you feel any biological related issues like nervous tension or any specific issues related to their thought process, in that condition also, we better to suggest some type of techniques related to their meditation and yoga. Okay. Then relaxation techniques help them. It is easily available techniques, relaxation techniques. Okay. So assessing the problem first, when we are giving some sort of, when we are giving this type of relaxation techniques, establishment of rabo is main important thing. Okay. Then assessing the problem, then setting the goals or targets to change their behavior. Then some sort of irrational beliefs, if you find, if there is any irrational beliefs, because of their irrational beliefs, if these stressful conditions, if we observe, better to
ఎప్పుడు రావాలా అదే కదా టైం టెక్నికల్ పనులు లేనివాడు ఎవడండి ఇప్పుడు పనులు గుర్తొచ్చిందా వెళ్ళు రాత్రి పనికి వెళ్దాం.
Hello. Yeah. So if we find any irrational beliefs within the client, so reframing their belief system, okay, with the help of ABC model, okay. Then systematic desensitization is one important thing. Systematic desensitization means if there is any phobic conditions, if there is an anxiety related condition, systematic desensitization is one of the important. Hello.
కూర్చోండి అందరికి మంచి క్లాస్ అయ్యి.
Hello. Hello. So in this irrational belief systems, better to change the irrational thoughts. Okay, by using the RET, rational emotive therapy. For example, unnecessary feelings, unnecessary emotions, if you find irrational thoughts, irrational belief systems, if you find, better to change their irrational thoughts by using the technique of RET. Okay, rational emotive therapy, RET. Or if there is any problem with their belief system, change their belief system with the technique of ABC. Okay, if we find any irrational thoughts, irrational beliefs, as I mentioned, ABC model is the one important technique to change their irrational beliefs. Okay, if there is any irrational emotions or irrational feelings, RET, change their irrational thoughts, irrational emotions to the rational emotions. Okay, these are all the various techniques we use in order to reduce their stress. Then finally, meditation. Meditation means there are some muscle relaxation techniques we'll suggest to change their stressful conditions. Okay, to improve their relax. Yeah, here one Jacobson's muscle relaxation technique also will suggest. Okay, so from top to bottom, or you can from head to toes. So we will ask the client to focus on each and every part of their body. Okay, ask them to relax by focusing on each and every part of this body. That means from top to bottom. So this is one technique given by the Jacobson's muscle relaxation technique. There are some other meditational issues, so meditational techniques also we can suggest to reduce their stressful conditions. Hello. Yeah. Then, as I mentioned, there are some other techniques of therapeutical procedures like reasons maybe, so explain them to reduce their stressful conditions and coping strategies. Okay, as I mentioned, some sort of health groups, or you can say small group of colleagues or family members, okay, to change their stressful conditions. As I mentioned, some sort of habits like food habits and sleep patterns also you can suggest. Then some recreational activities. Okay, so time schedules and recreational activities also can suggest, means leisure time activities to reduce their stressful situations. Then if there is any problem with their goals, ask them to fix the goals which is easy to achieve. As I mentioned, some goals are related to the long term, some are the short term goals. Okay, so these are all the various coping strategies as a professionals you can suggest to the client. Then some therapies like cognitive behavior therapy, then behavior therapy, and pharmacological therapy, some sort of medicines with the help of the medical professionals. Okay, these are all various techniques, and social skill training, assertive training, social skill training. So these are all the various coping strategies we suggest to the patients or the clients. Those are all having this type of stressful conditions. Okay, some sort of relaxation techniques, or you can say training, which involves focusing on their memory process, or you can say specific muscles, okay, to relieve their tension. Okay, relaxation training can be given to follow those to reduce their stressful conditions. So to that they'll improve their attentiveness. Okay, span of attention can be improved if there is any problem with their concentration. So better to suggest some sort of focusing attentiveness, or you can say span of attention can be improved by giving this type of techniques. Hello. Then some techniques related to the releasing the tension. So some relaxation techniques to reduce their tension. Then finally, if there's any problem with their need fulfillment, as I mentioned, if their hard work is not identified, recognized, there is no any positive feedback from the family or from the workplace. So if it is such the cases, to give some sort of positive feedback so that their need will be fulfilled. As I mentioned, there are some psychological needs. Those psychological needs, including the need of identity, need of recognition. If we find this type of problems related to their need fulfillment, better to give some suggestions to fulfill their needs. Okay, any problem related to the daily life activities, daily living things, or you can say daily living activities. If it is such that case, better to give their observe their time schedules, give the proper plan. Hello. So if in some cases, if there is any problem with their adjustmental issues, as I mentioned, adjustmental issues may be personal adjustment, family adjustment, occupational adjustment, or social adjustment. These adjustmental issues also leads some stressful situations in the individuals. So if there is any, if we find any such type of adjustmental issues, better to address their adjustmental issues. So the reasons we need to find out. The problem is within, as I see, in any therapeutical conditions, therapeutical procedures, mainly there are two important procedures. One is improving the insight. Second is the change in the environment. One is internal, second is external. Internal means if we want to change their thought process, that means within the person, we need to improve the insight so that he will accept the condition and he or she will try to change their behavior, or you can say it is a thought process that can be changed through the insight improvement. That is one procedure that generally we apply in this therapeutical procedures. Second one is the change in the environment. For example, if the person is in a depressive condition, he's in the depression or she is in the depression. That is the reason it's not so easy to improve the insight. Yeah. So in that condition, better to change the environment because of their poor adjustment capabilities. He or she is in the depression condition. That is the reason he or she is not in a position to change their behavior or their negative understanding. So in these cases, what to do? Change from the environment, because it's not so easy to improve their insight of the person because of his or her condition of depression or stressful condition. So here, what to do? So better to change the environment, means the family environment, family support. If it is a workplace environment, support from the other colleagues. So that if that environment is changed for some time, automatically there is a chance of improving the patient's condition. So these are two important ways in any therapy. One is improving the insight of the person, that means his acceptance. Second is the changing of the environment, family environment, occupational environment, or social environment that we need to change. So any of these both, according to the situation of the person, according to the situation of the this level of the person, or you can severe to the person, severe to the issue. Hello. Hello. So I don't know why this is a disturbance from your side. Finally, if you have any doubts, you can ask in the next class also. We have nearly, I think last 2 units are there. So examination point of view, as I mentioned, if you have any doubts, examination point of view, how to write the examination, how to write the questions, how to present your answers, how to organize your answers. These are the issues if we have. So better to ask your doubt in the next class. So try to unmute at least for next class. We have, I think, only one class. So much of difference, disturbance from these students that I think from my side, it's okay. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you just now said the exam point of view, so what are the topics we should be more well versed, sir?
Okay, in counseling process, counseling is psychology. You're talking about the counseling or
Yes.
preparation. So see, if any question, if you want to answer, for example, as I mentioned, any question like, for example, any issue related to the counseling, for example, like depression, anxiety, stress, marital issues, post-marital, premarital issues. Okay. So what to do? First of all, we need to explain the main symptoms of that particular issue. For example, if there is any issue related to substance abuse, what is substance? Okay. So that we need to explain first. Definition of the particular issue. Okay. Then symptoms of the particular issue. For example, anxiety, what are the symptoms of anxiety? Physiological symptoms, psychological symptoms, or behavioral symptoms. These definition, or you can say the symptoms, we better to explain in any issue. So the see how the question will see, the question will be like that. Explain how to counsel the person of depression. Okay. So that if it is a question of 10 marks, what to do first? Directly can't give the counseling skills of the this issue. So better to explain the issue first. Got it? Explain the counseling procedure of the counseling methods or counseling procedure of the depression. It means first we need to explain the depression. Okay. Depressive symptoms. Then second one is the causes of depression. Got it? Causes of depression. Or you can say factors of depression. Third is the various methods of giving counseling.
So we should
Hello?
write it. So, sir,
Yeah, this is the way we need to present any answer like depression, anxiety, stressful, burnout, or substance abuse related, postmarital, premarital issues, any sort of issue. Directly can't give the counseling. For example, if you want to go for the counseling procedures, there are some techniques, there are some therapeutic procedures. These therapeutic procedures are these therapeutic techniques related to the particular issue. For example, if it is anxiety, anxiety means, as I mentioned, there are various disorders of anxiety related to anxiety. That is phobic condition. Phobia is one type of anxiety. Phobia related to the water, that is hydrophobia, phytophobia, agoraphobia. So in this particular condition of phobia, systematic desensitization is a technique. Systematic desensitization is the technique to address the phobia of any individual. Okay, if there is any depressive condition, depression means, as I mentioned, if the depression is due to psychological condition, for example, their thought process in a different way, negative way. So better to, in that particular case, better to use the CRT, cognitive restructuring technique, or you can say CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. Okay. And if the depression is due to their memory, due to their irrational belief systems. If this is related to irrational belief systems, better to use the ABC. These are all the models it is there in your. So, but case wise or unit wise, they won't give these various techniques. So you need to list out all the techniques, all the therapeutic approaches. As I mentioned, ABC is one technique. CRT is the second technique. Okay. RET is the third one. Then CRT, then CBT, then psychoeducation. Nearly we have 10 techniques in our course, is counseling psychology. So the techniques in general we can't suggest, depending on the case, depending on the age, depending on the severity of the person, whether it is irrational belief system, whether it is irrational thoughts, whether it is irrational emotions, whether it is belief system. Okay, whether it is negative thoughts, whether it is self-esteem, whether it is not achieving their needs, problem of the need fulfillment. So depending on all these issues, as I mentioned, in any case, better to assess, better to observe the present condition of the patient. Basing on the present condition of the patient or the age of the person, so we have to suggest various therapeutic procedures. Okay, so this is the way we have to give you answers. Sorry. As I mentioned, if the counseling, explain the counseling procedures to the substance abuse, or you can say alcohol addiction. So first of all, what you need to explain, what is alcohol dependency? What is the addiction? These definitions we better to explain first. Then causes, first of all, symptoms. Definition, symptoms, and causes. Then what are the various therapeutic procedures in the counseling process? How to manage this issue. Okay. Still, if you have any doubts, you can ask in the next class also. So my sincere, I think it is 23rd. 23rd.
So that's why.
Yeah, but only my sincere advice is that unmute of all you, better to unmute because some disturbances from the student side. Okay, okay then, fine. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, sir.